Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You've probably been hearing this sentence a lot recently, especially over the last 6 months, but Bitcoin, unfortunately, is objectively in a very dangerous position right now, right? It's not in a safe position. We have not broken out yet. We're still in a pattern of consolidation. But furthermore, while we maintain the same pattern of consolidation, while we maintain the same structural bullishness, it is being threatened because the short-term price action has not been very good whatsoever. If we zoom in on the daily chart here and just show you, the overall structure, as everyone knows by now, as you should know by now, is a large descending channel formation, which is a bullish structure that generally breaks to the upside. But what we can see is that the center line of that descending channel formation, right here, has been acting as resistance and support for months on end now. We were rejecting from that level for about 2 weeks. It was bolstered by the bull market support band. We broke above it and we thought, or people thought, we didn't think this, but people thought this. They thought we're finally in the clear. We're finally going to make a run for resistance. However, at this period of time, I posted a video just 3 days ago, go and check me, saying failed weekly candle close. While everyone was bullish up the top here, I was saying, hold on a second, right? We haven't seen what we needed to see. This is still a threatening position. And 2 days later, or less than 2 days later, we dropped back downwards and we lost all of the progress we made on that move upwards. So now we face a challenge. Right? Do we continue downwards to the bottom of this channel and retest that support level again, knowing that if we break these support levels, we break the bottom of the channel, it is over. It's done, right? Bitcoin enters a bear market. Or do we make another move to the upside? And was what just happened a big fake out? That's the big question right now, right? And there's no clear answer to that. But what I can do is I can tell you what needs to happen on either side to validate either scenario. Right now, this should be a time in which you're paying very close attention to these charts. You should be biting your nails, right? For lack of a better term, right? That's what we're going to be discussing today. So let's get into it in just a second here. Before we do so, the BitcoinX and BingX exchanges. Two exchanges I advertise on this YouTube channel. They are both global, non-KYC, so you can sign up from anywhere in the world. And with my referral links down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount for life on either of these exchanges. So take your pick, 15% trading fee discount just by signing up with my referral link. I'll show you something real quick as well. Click the sign up button, pop in my referral code, or just use my link to take you to the page, and you can see 5,500 USDT of newcomer rewards available on BitcoinX and 4,000 on BingX. Use my links down below. Let's get into the content. So on a more fleshed out Bitcoin chart, we can see all of the support levels, all of the resistance levels here. Bitcoin went upwards very clearly above the center line, which was a strong resistance zone. It flipped a few levels there. It was hovering above the bull market support band, but it collapsed downwards below it. If we go into the 4-hourly chart, we can see that collapse in real time. Let's bring up the bull market support band. There it is. As you can see, very clearly hovering above it, failed to gain the momentum to shift back to the upside, collapsed below it, collapsed below two separate structural support zones, diagonal support, and basically saw a free fall until we reached the support zone down here, this green rectangle at 57.5K to 56.5K, which was our support zone throughout this range over here in early to mid-August, and also resistance over here in the start of August. So we are now back to where we were about a week ago, or maybe even 2 weeks ago, close to 2 weeks ago. We're back to where we were. All the progress has been thrown out the window. We're back below the center line of the channel, which acted as very strong resistance. And now we need to break it again. There's no way around it, right? What do we need to be seeing to the upside? Well, we need to be breaking it again. Now, I can't, at this point in time, identify any overly clear structure. So I can't really tell you whether I think the market is bullish or bearish, whether I think the short term is going to go up or down. Perhaps this is some sort of double bottom structure. It's too early to tell, unfortunately. Not really too many patterns forming. Volume is decreasing in the upwards trend, which shows me that this particular move won't succeed. I think we will see another move back down, another bounce of support. But from there, perhaps we'll form something a bit more telling. But right now, I can't really tell you too much about the short term. There's no divergences or anything on the RSI or anything like that as well. So no patterns, no divergences. Volumes descending in the upwards trend shows you that we're not quite ready. I think what we need to see is more consolidation on the short term. And obviously, on the medium term, we need to break back above the center line of a channel and get back above the bull market support band again. But, this is all just like, oh, if this happens, this will happen. What actually needs to happen? This is the main thing that needs to happen. First and foremost, we need to break the entire channel, but that's a long-term trigger, right? The trigger I'm looking at right now is the weekly chart RSI. I think this is probably the most important thing you can watch right now. The weekly chart RSI is very telling, okay? It always has been. And if you look at the weekly chart RSI, I mean, you look at periods of time in the weekly chart RSI where we've broken upwards. So you take a descending resistance line back here, I've just drawn in. It led to the bull market very clearly. You take a descending resistance line I've just drawn in, I'll draw it in right now actually, from December 2020 going through to 2023, and you can see it ended the bear market. It led to the bottom and we broke upwards. You take a descending resistance line from last year and you can see it ended a 7 or 8 month consolidation. It led to all-time highs. I mean, breaking out on the weekly chart RSI is a big deal. Right, and not only to the upside, but to the downside as well. We have a very strong support zone here on the weekly chart RSI. And when we broke it to the downside, it led to our collapse from the dead cat bounce to the final bear market bottom. So we've got this very long-term uptrending support line, and we've got this newly founded descending resistance line forming right here. It forms a triangle formation on the weekly chart RSI, and we know very clearly that if we break to the upside, it's going to be a big move. We break to the downside, it's going to be a big move. And so we don't have room to move to the downside. If Bitcoin breaks this weekly chart RSI to the downside, it becomes quite likely, I'd say probably 80% probability, right? Not certain, but likely, that the entire structure collapses and we enter a bear market. Whereas if we break it to the upside, it becomes very likely the structure breaks to the upside and we see another leg of the bull market, which would likely entail an altcoin season, right? So in my view, this triangle on the weekly chart RSI is going to do a lot to decide how the actual price chart pattern resolves. Now, obviously, if you want full confirmation, you'd be waiting for the actual resolution of the price chart pattern. But if you want to try front run the result of the price chart pattern, you'd be waiting for the resolution of the weekly chart RSI. And that will be happening, right? The apex of that weekly chart RSI is in the 23rd of September, meaning it's actually incredibly likely that we see a decision on the weekly chart RSI before the 23rd of September, probably something like, within the next 2 weeks, within the next 2 weekly candle close, right? Not this one, but maybe the one after that, next week's weekly candle close, or maybe the one after that, right? The point is, we have very little time left before Bitcoin makes a definitive decision on the weekly chart RSI, which could lead to a macro decision on the macro structure itself. So this is without a doubt the thing you should be watching right now, and I will continue to bore you out of your mind every single video by talking about it until it actually breaks. I can't stress the importance of it enough. So if you're sitting there and you're bored and you're getting sick of the market, just know that we will see a resolution quite soon here, literally within the next few weeks. Now, I can sit here all day and I can talk about the levels we need to hold. Again, the 2 yellow levels right here, one stemming back from 2018, the weekly chart yellow level on the RSI, another one stemming from October right here last year, another one on the 5-day Gaussian channel, which acted as very strong support on the occasions I'm circling, very strong resistance on the occasions I'm circling. If we break that, if we break downwards a little bit more here, we break below something like 54K, that goes and we enter a downwards trend. There's a lot of things that we can be watching. Ethereum, it needs to break its yellow line to the upside on the daily chart. Ethereum needs to break, and let's just load in this chart here. Looks like it's deleted. 1 second. Ethereum needs to break its descending wedge on the weekly chart RSI as well, but that would likely occur if Bitcoin did the same. The total cryptocurrency market cap needs to break its POC center line, which is a major point of resistance from the volume profile. Another thing is the S&P 500, which again, these charts look like they're deleting. Just 1 moment. I would love to see the S&P 500 break above its RSI resistance zone in the RSI, or at least form a new structure, potentially something like this. That would be great, because right now it's not looking too great. The DXY, right, a very important chart that is measuring the value of the US dollar, the strength of the US dollar in comparison to assets, or other currencies as well. And this chart right here is inversely correlated to Bitcoin. So when this goes downwards, Bitcoin goes upwards. You look at this time frame right here. This was 2018, right? 2020, 2021. That's when Bitcoin saw a bull market. This is when Bitcoin saw a bear market. This is when Bitcoin saw a bull market. Bear market over here, inversely correlated to Bitcoin. Right now it's on major support, which means, the fact that it bounced here in the last week is probably one of the reasons why Bitcoin failed to break to the upside. Bitcoin did not fail to break to the upside on its own accord. It failed to break to the upside, guys, because the global economy prevented it from doing so. Things like the DXY, right? Now, this needs to break downwards, right? There's a lot of things we can look at for confirmation, but the absolute first step to all of this, in my opinion, is going to be that weekly chart RSI break. If the weekly chart RSI breaks downwards, a lot of this is going to turn very, very pessimistic. If it breaks upwards, we have hope. It's not guaranteed, but we have hope. Perhaps if it breaks upwards, the circumstances that would have allowed it to do so would have been the DXY breaking down, would have been the S&P 500 breaking up, would have been the total breaking up, Ethereum breaking up. this is what we're looking at here. And it's all connected, in my opinion, to this weekly chart RSI. So we're in a dangerous position right now. There's no doubt about it. We're in a dangerous position, and we will be until this weekly candle RSI resolution. Now, it doesn't mean we're in a bad position necessarily. It just means we're in a dangerous position, right? We need to be watching these charts very closely for that reason. So hope it didn't bore you out of your minds. I'm going to keep doing it. Unfortunately, I'm going to keep bringing it up in every single video. Maybe not to that extent, but I really needed to emphasize that for you today, and also discuss, the price action for short term. Why do we go downwards? Well, I explained that, and right now I can't give you a clear answer as to where we will be going on the short term next, but I certainly know what we need to look for in order to see that move, right? So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, the exchanges, Bitunix, BingX, never been hacked before, global non-KYC, 15% referral trading fee discount with my referral link down below. Check them out and use my links to sign up. Then we've got JS Quinn, which is my second channel, by the way. I do a podcast on there. If you're interested in listening to my podcast content, I talk about philosophy, politics, history, all that kind of stuff. You can check it out. I'll leave that link down below. And we have the VIP group on Telegram, guys. I trade altcoins 4 times a week on VIP. I post publicly, privately, I should say, in the paid group, altcoin trading plans 4 times a week with a 78.39% win rate over the course of 2 years of trading results. A very extensive track record. It's all transparent. You can view it on there on Telegram. And the last thing I'll talk about here is the Become a Trader 10-unit course, teaching you how to trade. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to chart, you want to learn how to actually trade properly and make money from trading, this is where you can do it. It's on sale right now. The website will show you everything you need to know. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.